If you could have a drink with anyone in the theater world, who would it be? I'm Anthony Caporale, and I'm running through my list. Each week, I'll sit down with cast members, bartenders, and personalities from New York's theater district and get a behind-the-scenes look at what it's like to live, work, and play on Broadway. Come have a drink with us on Broadway Bartender. Welcome to Broadway Bartender. My name is Anthony Caporale. We are here at New World Stages in the heart of Manhattan's theater district, home to my show, The Imbible, a spirited history of drinking. And as always, I'm going to start the episode off with a drink that is related to our guests this week. And hopefully by the end of the drink, you'll be able to guess which show we're talking to. This drink is a Nuts and Berries. It's one of my favorites. It's just a fun drink. We're going to start with 1 ounce of Chambord, which is black raspberry liqueur. And then I'm going to add to that 1 ounce of Frangelico, which is hazelnut, and I will top it with the key ingredient this week, some half and half, which is milk mixed with cream. And if you haven't figured it out already, our guests this week are from the uber smash hit musical Cats, and we have with us Jessica Hendy.
Hi.
And Christine Cornish Smith. Welcome to Broadway Bartender, ladies. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
It's delicious.
That's not bad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
like
just kind of
I'm
a
gonna
fun-
drink a glass of milk.
Yeah, I mean, it's
I
not
wanna
a
see that.
whiskey on the rocks, but you know, it's one of my fun kind of go-to drinks. Not a lot of
Yeah,
alcohol, just kind of like dessert in a glass.
Mhm.
So thank you so much. I'm sure you've never heard this before, but I am the biggest Cats fan in the world. I literally grew up listening to the show. One of my favorite moments growing up when it must have been in high school or something like that. I was literally like, my mom used to make this amazing chocolate mousse pie,
Ah.
and it was my favorite thing in the world. And she happened to just make one, and I was sitting eating a chocolate mousse pie, and someone put on, it must have been my brother or something, put on Cats, because we're a musical theater family. And I was literally sitting there eating this pie, listening to the music from Cats, thinking to myself, and I'm like, I don't know, 17, I'm thinking, life can't get better than this. This is like the ultimate moment. I know it's kind of sad, but anyway,
No,
that's
amazing.
how like emotionally I am bonded to this show. So I want to hear everything there is to know about being in the show. So why don't we first of all start with your roles?
Okay, I understudy, actually I sing in the booth every night, which there are 6 of us that sing in the orchestra pit.
Okay.
And we boost the vocals on stage because it's such a rigorous dancing show. And it's actually a really rigorous score too. So I sing every night in the booth, and then when I'm not doing that, I understudy Grisabella.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Classic Broadway role.
Yeah.
The booth, that fast. So I don't even think people realize that there are singers in the booth, do they?
Yeah, well, they call us the Cats. In the playbill, it's called the Cats Chorus.
Okay.
But we're really we're each on a microphone, and everyone on stage sings too. It's not like no one's lip syncing. We're just boosting everything, and because a lot of
We are
times on stage
so grateful for
they're
you.
working so hard.
Well, for the one viewer who has not seen Cats in some way, shape, or form, I mean, it was one of the most intense dance shows.
Yeah.
I think at the time it was probably the most intense dance show ever. Right? I mean, it was unbelievable the things that they were doing. So not surprising that they needed a little bit of a vocal boost.
Yeah.
Was that part of the original production?
It was.
There
Yeah.
was.
Mhm.
Awesome. So in the booth every night, and then understudying Grisabella.
Yes.
You
But
didn't
you-
have a moment's notice. You
Just jump right on.
Yeah.
Has that happened?
Not at a moment's notice. I mean, there have been people that have gotten pulled out of the booth mid-show to go get on makeup. That has not happened to me yet, but I'm looking forward to it.
Wow. Now, this is
Ready.
not your first experience with the role, is it?
No, I actually did the production at the Winter Garden right before it closed.
That's where I saw it. I
Yeah?
mean, yeah, I was, but no, that's amazing. Like that was, I mean, again, what a role. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, that's everyone's go-to audition song, and like you
It
own
is.
that.
It
That's
was-
like your,
I mean, same kind of thing as you. My parents made me take piano when I was little because I was into theater, so they made me take piano, and Memory was the first song I ever learned how to play on the piano.
really?
Yeah, and then I made my Broadway debut singing Memory.
Wow.
So, like, this show is like deep.
You
for
made
me.
your Broadway debut singing Memory.
I did.
That's. I mean, how many people can say that?
I mean, I can.
Like 5. I mean, that's all that matters.
Well, were you the youngest, right?
Yeah, I was the youngest Grisabella. I was the understudy again, and I was the youngest Grisabella. And then to get cast in the revival, it was like beyond my wildest dreams. I didn't think it would happen, and it happened. And it is not lost on me the magnitude of like the importance. Like I love going to work, and I love that I get to do Cats. I mean,
Wow.
is that cheesy? But
No,
it's true,
how
though.
is that cheesy? You're allowed to love new Cats, and you're allowed to love playing Stairway to Heaven. That's okay also. So what's it like, I'm going to get right to you, but I just have to ask you one more question.
Yeah.
What's it like playing Grisabella at 2 different points in your life?
Yeah, well, I'm a mother now,
Wow.
and I have a son who's 10. So I feel like since I played Cats when I was younger, and now I'm a little older, I've lived a life. And so the journey that she goes through in the show, I've walked in my shoes a longer time on this planet, and I have so much more to draw from. Like I've had some really, really, really hard times, and I've had times where like I've felt forgiveness and I've felt redemption, and that's really what this story is about with her character, is just owning your life but choosing to live it no matter what happens. And like I get to tell that story, and I don't want to cry, but
No,
like,
cry, please. I love it.
Yeah.
it's like I love it. It's like beyond my wildest dreams that I get to play her.
Have you changed your performance? I mean, has the way you deliver the song changed because of
Yeah.
that? Really?
Because when I was doing it before, I was making my Broadway debut, and I was doing everything they told me to, but there was only so much I could draw from the well of my life.
Right.
But now I have so much more, and I can just invest so much more. And the people on stage with me, I get the relationships so much more because I have grown up, and I have made mistakes, and I can, as the character, I can see myself in all the other characters on stage, you know.
And that's really the point of that role, right?
Yeah.
She's the reflection of everyone else on stage and where they're headed.
Yeah.
Wow, that's okay. That's super cool. I love that. Okay, Christine, talk to me. What do you got going on?
She's amazing. I just have to say,
She's
isn't she so good?
I was blown
Yes.
away.
I mean,
Literally
thank you.
blown away. Yeah.
Thank you. So I play Bomb Ballerina.
Yes, you play the hell out of Bomb Ballerina.
The sassy cat. And again, it's really, truly a dream role for me too. I mean, there are little shows where you get to sing and dance at this caliber, you know, that you get to really dance and really sing. You know, it's an operatic score, and then
Yeah.
I'm getting to belt out this. I mean,
that
I
song.
love McCavity. I love that. It's always been my favorite song in the score, and so yeah, it's a dream come true for me too, and it's my debut. So
Broadway debut.
yeah, which I mean, if I never thought I would. I mean, maybe I always wanted to make it to Broadway, but I thought, okay, if I ever get there, maybe I'll be like a replacement for like showgirl number 5 to the right. Like that was what I thought. Oh, that'll be it. If I maybe. So this is just like beyond what I ever dreamed. So yeah.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
congratulations. I mean, 2 amazing stories in, I mean, what is arguably the most iconic show of the last 20 to 30 years, you know, just unbelievable. So I want to talk about this production now and how it's different from the original, because some things have changed. I think a
Yes.
considerable amount of things have changed. Tell me about what people can expect when they come see this production versus the original staging in the original show.
Well, I would say the way I describe it to people is really what Andy Blankenbuehler said to us on like day 1 or day 3 of rehearsal, is that this show is so iconic that most people know about it or have seen it or have like a personal relationship to it. And he wanted the audience to come in and just kind of feel like they were getting into a warm bath. It was familiar, it felt good, and then he was going to pepper in the contemporary aspects because audiences are different than they were when Cats was on stage. They're quicker, they can multitask in a way that they couldn't before just because of the rise of technology and everything. And so like he wanted to make it, also he was very adamant about creating the relationships, because it's poetry, creating these relationships on stage between the cats that were tangible to the audience, that weren't like, well, I think this and I think this, and he wanted that, no, these two are friends and these two people have a relationship, and I think he just made it more clear and not as lofty, maybe. Not that it was lofty, but
yeah, I think just kind of chiseled away a little bit more, because now audiences are so different, and I think a lot of things that were really avant-garde at the time, coming through the audience, or is not so new to this audience anymore. So to sort of update, and even things like we're doing a lot of the same choreography, but we've shifted the positions, and we're doing 3 different pieces of choreography at the same time instead of all unison, things like that, to where this modern audience can say, oh, okay, I understand this a little more.
Right.
So, yeah, but it's still the same DNA, and it's still the same.
we're still cats.
We're still cats.
You haven't changed that.
Yeah.
I always think doing a show that's had that large an impression on not just so many people, but actually the art itself, I figure that's got to be challenging, because I would think that people who are seeing Cats for the first time might look at some of the things in the show and think, oh, I've seen that a million times. That's derivative, when in fact it was groundbreaking. You were the first show to do those things, and they've become staples of musical theater. Is that something that you guys, is that a challenge at all? Or you just kind of let the show speak on its own merits?
I mean, I think there's a huge responsibility for us as cast members to respect the legacy of what Cats is, and to do it with the honor that it really is an honor to be a part of this show. So to do it the honor of doing it really, really well every night.
And it can very easily, as we know, a lot of people made fun of Cats for years, or, it can be a parody, but our director, Trevor Nunn, and Andy both, it's about truly believing and just diving in 100%. And that's what I think makes this production and most Cats productions so special, is that, you are witnessing people who are so entrenched in this work and are really bringing it to the forefront. And that's, I think, what affects people, is seeing people that are so committed on stage. And
So you mentioned extremely challenging physical show, and extremely challenging vocally.
Yeah.
So singer first or dancer first?
You can't tell? Singer.
Singer first?
Yes.
Okay. Singer first or dancer first?
She is equal.
I started off as a dancer. Yeah.
Okay.
So
And then-
dancer first, but I like to try to do both.
She can sing. You've heard her sing McCavity, but her soprano is ridiculous. It's so good. You're welcome.
Thanks.
So tell me about how you got started. Where I'm going to, what drew you to musical theater and performance? What were you?
When I was little, my first memories of wanting to do this was hearing Annie, and I wanted to be Annie. And I sang Tomorrow probably 5,000 times. As I was growing up, it probably molded my vocal cords, I guess. But I wanted to audition for Annie, and I was a kid, and my parents were like, no. I was in Catholic school. I wanted to go to the performing arts school, and my parents were like, no, you're going to go to Catholic school. And it really was a great thing for me, because I really had to seek out dance class and doing shows at school. And once I was doing that, my parents were like, oh, okay. And so they've always been my biggest support and my biggest fans. And then I went to college for musical theater, and then I moved here. We went to the same college.
Where'd you go?
CCM.
Wow, you guys are everywhere. We just had another guest on from.
We heard.
Seriously, yeah, it's
Cats.
an amazing program you guys
Yeah.
have.
It is.
Just an amazing program.
Yeah.
And so, were you able to work pretty quickly out of school?
When I got here, I got my first big job, was the national tour of Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Andrew and you were close.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to dance for that audition too.
Did you?
Yes. I don't know what
And
the
you nailed
hell.
it,
Why do I have to keep dancing?
So from national tour of Joseph, how long after that did you land the Cats gig?
Let's see. I came back and I went on tour with Cats, and then I was doing someone's maternity leave for the tour, and I came back to New York, and they just called and said, "Will you come to Broadway?" And I was like,
Dreams.
"What?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good call.
It's probably exactly like that too.
Yeah.
Like literally, Broadway called me.
That's
Wow.
amazing. Okay, so your story after graduation, what happened?
Yeah, it's actually oddly similar now that I hear that. I mean, different in that I started off, I was a bunhead, like ballet, 24 hours a week, like obsessive.
Really?
Yeah, I wanted to be a ballet dancer. I would come up here and study at the School of American Ballet in the summers, and I remember my third summer up here at SAB, and I went to go see Sweeney Todd, the revival, and I was like, nope, doing musical theater. That's what I wanted to do. Yeah, like
That's
from
amazing.
seeing
Sweeney Todd changed
Yeah.
you.
like just seeing buckets of blood being poured into other buckets, and I was like,
playing the
perfect.
cello on stage.
You're a dark
Well,
side.
but yeah, I mean, it was that, and then I kept dancing, and I actually got injured, and so I had to stop dancing for a while, and that's when I really got into singing and really, developed that side. And then I went to school in Cincinnati for musical theater, and then the first show that I booked after school was
Oh
a
my
national
God.
tour of Joseph. But it's funny
Did
because
you not know that?
I did know that,
Made
but
that
I
connection.
forgot until you started talking.
I know. Then when you said that, I was like, but it was actually so Andy
So tip for people who want to
Blankenbuehler.
be on Broadway, audition for
Joseph.
the national tour of Joseph. Apparently, that's the way that you go. Okay.
Yeah, but anyway, so I was in New York, like non-equity blonde girl, number 805, whatever.
I have
And-
the exact same story.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
But so Andy Blankenbuehler was the choreographer for Joseph, who's also the choreographer for Cats. So that kind of,
Yeah.
so he gave me my first job, gave me my equity card, traveled, toured for a year, and then came back. I did a couple regional things, and then went and got Cats like about a year later. So
When did you start singing? I mean, it couldn't have been. You must. I mean, you have a gorgeous voice.
Thank
Is
you.
this something that just came
Thank you.
naturally to you, or were you working on it while you were dancing?
I always loved singing,
You did.
and I don't think I started taking lessons until I was about 16, maybe. But I did choir. I was the secretary of the Lads and Lassies, and I also was in an a cappella choir. We sang at nursing homes all over DFW, Dallas. So I was a choir nerd a little bit too. So that, fostered my love of singing. But, yeah.
So I have to ask you, at the level that you two are at, which is the top of the top, do you still study? Are you still studying, taking voice lessons, or is it something that are they tune-ups? Like, how does that work?
Well, I don't take regular voice lessons. I have voice lessons that I have on my iPhone that I will then sing. But I literally sing every day before I get to the show, because if I don't, my voice will be tired from the show. And I am starting a monologue club at the show.
Yes.
Please tell me about the
Keep it
monologue.
up.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like, it started as a joke, but then I'm serious about it because, and I posted on our little Cats thing, we never really have to do monologues for auditions anymore, but they're really fun to do them. So I just want to, pick a day and like come and do a monologue and like just work that muscle as well, because we dance and we sing, but we're not really working the acting muscle unless we're on stage, and I just want to work it because I'm not in college anymore.
Right.
And it's fun.
I absolutely agree with you.
You want to
when
join?
Well, I would love to join. Don't tease me, because I will join.
Comedic, contemporary.
When I started Broadway Theater Studio, which is our production company, we actually started as a way to just get actors in a room to do sides, just to do that exact thing, and take the scenes apart and look at it and dissect it, and for nobody, just because it's fun to do. So I think that's amazing. That's so cool that someone who's in Cats on Broadway is still interested in doing that.
Yeah,
That's
it's fun.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Right, so I'm
don't
gonna-
take dance class. I probably should, but
Oh, you don't need to take dance class. You've got it in your bones.
oh my god.
And are you still studying? Is this something that's ongoing for you?
Yes. I study with a teacher in Midtown that I've gone to ever since I moved to the city. So it'll be like my 3rd year with him. So yeah, I try to get in every other week at least for like a formal voice lesson, and then I have my warm-ups before the show. And you know, it becomes easy to want to just do your show, and then I mean, I don't know how you do it being a mom and you're always, you know, she's like so on top of it, but yeah, it's easy to want to just fall into just doing your show and not trying to progress in other ways. But I try to keep, you know, going to class and dance on a flat surface and, you know, keep up the training. So
Wow.
yeah.
Okay, so any bartending history among you? Have either of you ever worked in a... Uh-oh.
No, I just
no?
was doing a shoulder roll. Yeah.
She's doing her warm-up.
I was like, I'm ready.
Yeah, I probably have cocktailed in every bar in the city.
Have you really?
Oh my God, yes.
With the pro.
Did you ever get behind the bar and actually make a drink?
For myself.
Oh, that totally counts. How about you?
No,
Never?
I have no bartending experience. But today is the day. for
Yes.
Oh,
me. I don't know.
Today is your day.
We're going to let her do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you sure you don't
Yeah.
want to? But
No.
okay.
All right.
All
So
right.
we're going to start you with the easiest of the drinks.
Great.
This is called a highball.
Okay.
And I'll tell you a little bit about the story of a highball. A highball is literally,
Jello.
it's what they call a 2-part drink. You know this, I'm sure. But it's a liquor and one mixer, and it's usually a soda. And it goes back to the days before we had clocks, when people would, when they were trying to catch a train, the way you would know when the train was going to leave, because you couldn't look at your clock, they would take a pole and they would run a ball up to the top of the pole. And when you had a high ball, it meant your train was going to leave. So you would run to the bar and say, I have a high ball, and they would give you the quickest drink they could possibly. This is one of like a million stories, but this is the
Oh
one
my
that I like.
God.
Yeah, and I
didn't
have a
know
high
that.
ball.
That's
And so they would
really
literally do the quickest thing. It was just 2 things, just liquor and a mixer, boom, and they give
Get
it to
it
you,
in
and
ya.
you'd run and you'd make your train. And I love that story.
That's
and
amazing.
so that's what I'm going to teach you how to make, and except I've renamed it. I've come up with one for you. We're going to call it the Jellicle Highball.
Yes.
Is that cool?
Yes. Yes.
All right. So why don't you come over
I'm
here,
so excited.
Moment of truth.
and we'll
I'm
switch
so thirsty.
places.
Okay.
And this one
Alright.
does not have cream in it. Okay, so you're gonna take these 3 glasses, you're gonna
Okay.
fill them all up with ice.
Oh God, I'm so nervous.
And there should be an ice scoop right under
Yeah.
there. And one of the important things when you're tending bar is to make sure that you fill the glass all the way up with ice.
All
It's
the way
something,
up.
yeah,
Yeah.
something that a lot of folks,
Really
that
in
aren't in the industry, they think ice is a bad thing.
No.
No, ice is good, especially for like dance
I feel like
injuries,
I'm
I'm sure.
so slow. Yes.
Lots
I
of
use
people
ice.
take ice baths after the show.
Yes.
Really?
Oh yeah.
It's a good. It's
Isn't
a
that
good thing.
crazy?
Yeah, I don't know if I would
Yeah.
do that. Okay, great.
That's
So,
good
yep, that's
ice.
it. So now there's only 2 things in here. There's
Uh-huh.
going to be a liquor and a soda, and I'm going to use orange vodka, Mandarin vodka actually, which should be right down there in what we call the speed rail. You can pull that up.
Is that this?
Nope, that's
Nope.
Frangelico. It's the absolute.
Oh, the other one.
There you go. Right.
50-50 chance.
And then
Okay.
we're not going to pour it yet. Then
No.
we have cream soda.
Okay.
So this is going to
Yeah.
be a creamsicle
Mhm.
highball.
Yes.
Now, because we're fancy,
Uh-huh.
I want you to pour them at the same time.
Yes.
Oh God.
Are you righty or
Okay.
lefty?
Yeah. I'm a righty.
Good, so you can hold the liquor
Keep
bottle
this
in your
my
right hand.
Yeah.
And I want you to pour them at the same time. And when the
Alright.
glass is full,
Uh-huh.
you have the right amount of both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm so nervous.
No, don't be.
Okay.
Broadway
Yes.
Pour, 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 pour.
Oh.
See? That's perfect. And now you've made your highball train. And you go ahead. And the beautiful thing about this is you don't even have to mix it because you pour it
Don't
at the same
even-
time, and the carbonation
Don't even have to
mixes
mix it.
the drink for you. Wow. Okay, so looks good though, right?
Yes.
Looks like a pro.
I'm
Oh yeah.
I'm so excited.
Elbows up. Is that what they
love
say?
it. Elbows
There we
up. Great. So you can put the vodka back down, put a straw
Yes.
in those, and serve up our Jellicle
These straws?
highball. Sure. No, actually, no, not those straws.
Oh.
No. We're going to use the green
We're gonna
straws,
use-
and we're going to garnish it
So
with
fancy.
a pussy willow. So why don't you go ahead and throw a little
Put
pussy
it-
willow
put it in
sprig
there?
right in there.
In
Yeah,
there?
throw it right in there.
Yes.
It's all good for you.
That's what I'm. Yes, this is so pretty.
Do you like that?
Yes.
Oh my
I'm a
gosh.
pro.
Awesome. So
We
this
should
is
serve
our...
this drink
Here we
at the
go.
Cats Theater at the
I
Neil
think
Simon.
you
think we
absolutely should. Well done.
Wow. Thank you
Cheers.
for your guidance.
Thank you, ladies, for
Yeah.
joining us on Broadway
Gorgeous.
Bartender.
Yeah.
Website for the show?
Cat.
Could it just be cats.com?
Cats
It could be.
Broadway.
Yes.
Cats Broadway?
Cats Broadway.
Oh my
Broadway.
God, we're gonna get fired.
I
We
think
don't know.
probably if you Google cats,
It'll-
you'll find it.
It'll be there.
I'm sure it's
Awesome.
catsbroadway.com.
Yeah, that seems.
I thought you meant like your website.
your website. Yeah, I want to know your website.
No, I thought you meant your website.
No,
I was
nobody
like,
cares about my website. Do you have a website?
Yeah, but it.
Do you want to tell
Yeah.
people?
It's jesshendy.com.
Hendy.
Yeah.
And do you have a website?
Yes.
What is it?
ChristineCornishSmith.com.
There you go. Ladies, thank you so much. I'm going to come
Thank
and
you.
see the show again because I
Please
have
do.
to because I love it.
Let us know. Bring
Yeah.
you backstage.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm really
we're
excited.
like
Okay.
friends now.
Awesome. We're going to try these drinks first of all. Tell me what you think of
Okay.
this.
Okay.
Okay, well done.
Oh my God.
Good.
Creamsicle, right?
That
It's
is really
so
good.
good.
Yeah.
So now you know how to make the Jellicle highball.
Yes.
Folks,
Cheers.
thank you so much for tuning into Broadway Bartender. Check us out, BroadwayBartender.com. Make sure you come back next week. Drink well, drink responsibly. Cheers.
It really is delicious.
Great job.
Yeah.
Thank you, ladies. Lovely.
Bravo.
That was really good.
Do you like that?
Yeah.
Feel free to finish it. I think there may be some drinks over there.
Well, now we gotta get a couple things.
Yeah, we got
Should I go behind the
Yeah.
all the way down?
You can drink it all the way down.